Okay, so new location inside the RV.
Testing things out.
Yeah, and we're gonna actually combine 2 states for this particular video.
Because they're small. And we didn't do a lot in these states, so.
Well, they're small states, and we're on a certain track, we're heading a certain direction, so I don't want to say these are pass-through states because they were definitely on our list to hit.
Yeah, they were. I mean, they weren't afterthoughts.
No, but where we went in the states is very directional based, I would say. So,
yeah, they're not your highest touristy spots.
No.
But we did find some amazing things there.
We did, and the views were, stunning.
So what states did we hit?
Okay, so the first state was Vermont.
And Vermont, we stayed in Burlington. Why did we stay in Burlington of all places?
So I had a business trip. Yeah, it was super boring. I think I was gone for maybe 36 hours.
It wasn't very long.
No, but I needed an airport. So no issues. So I flew out, I think on a Tuesday and came back Wednesday. Not a big deal.
And it's really your first business trip since being on the road.
It was. I don't travel very much, but, gotta do what you gotta do. Okay, so where we stayed in Burlington was just really outside Burlington. It was a pretty good location.
It was, and it was right off of Lake Champlain, which we couldn't see from our campground.
No.
But it was literally on the other side of the trees.
Yeah, you'll see it's like right behind the RV. It was really cool. The weather was pretty good while we were there. We did get a little bit of rain. Kind of our story alive. Yeah.
So we did 2 big things that the kids are really holding on to.
I'm still holding on to it.
And the first one was we went to go to the Ben & Jerry's factory.
Super cool.
Oh my gosh.
It is everything you want an ice cream factory to be.
So cool. And I had never known, it's Ben & Jerry's is kind of your designer ice cream per se, So it's kind of in the same category as Haagen-Dazs, and
it's the hoity-toity ice cream, and it is worth it.
It was worth it.
Yeah.
And I was nervous that Andy wasn't going to like it because he doesn't like his foods touching. But you love Ben & Jerry's.
It's so good. It's so good. So that was awesome, and almost as cool as the factory tour, I have to say, was just the drive there.
Yeah.
It was gorgeous.
Through the mountains.
Mountain ranges. And
so pretty.
It was nice.
So then the second thing we did while we were in Burlington was go visit Lake Champlain. Because it was just beautiful.
It was. There were sailboats, and it was a bright blue sky day.
It was a beautiful day.
I think we even had jackets on. Because it's like right in the middle, so the temperatures are turning. It was just so picturesque. It was. I don't even just watch. I don't even know what to tell you.
So then, after all of that,
we're there for a week just because of my trip, and that's fine. We've actually, I guess, just a quick update. We are really trying to stay a week in places now.
We are. That's true.
We have found that for our work schedule, we like driving on Sundays and then really settling in for a whole week. That allows us to get a lot of work done. It allows the kids to be settled for school and anything they want to get done. It allows us then 3 days typically to really do some good adventures, sometimes 3.5 or 4. And just allows us to not always be moving. And not that it's a complaint, because we like going to new places, but if you move too often, really, I would say we call them travel days. That is, you don't get anything done that day.
No, it's...
Because you're packing everything up, you're driving hours, and then you're getting there and you're setting up, and then you're all hungry and tired, and it's just... So you lose a day. If we travel once a week, then we have 6 days.
It's like flying on an airplane. You just dedicate that day to you traveling, and it's it's the same thing for being in an RV.
But if you travel twice a week, then it's like... Okay, so now we only have 4 days this week to actually accomplish anything. So we're trying to do that. So that's why we were in Burlington a week, and then we go to New Hampshire for a week.
Yeah, New Hampshire.
So pretty.
New Hampshire. New
So we
Hampshire was
weren't-
a really good surprise.
It was so pretty. We weren't in any, I would say, highly populated areas, but where we were staying was gorgeous. They had all the amenities we really needed.
But where we stayed was right down the street from Mount Washington.
I mean, literally 10 minutes.
Yeah, literally.
10
It
minutes
was
from the road.
within the
Yeah.
White Mountains.
So there were 2 main events we got in, and
They were epic.
I mean, life-changingly awesome.
They were
so I am not
epic.
complaining. So the first one was the Mount Washington Auto Tour. Oh, like, oh my gosh. You have to put this on your bucket list.
It is a bucket list item.
Yeah, you take your car, you drive, I think it's only up 6 miles, 7 miles.
It's not long.
The distance of the mountain's up 4 miles, but I think the road itself is 6 miles. So, I mean, you're going up. And they tell you, like, how to drive your car, only certain cars. Almost all cars are allowed on there, but no, like, big trucks or dualies or anything like that.
And they give you a CD, so you get to listen to the history of. If you haven't caught on, we love history.
Yeah,
so.
this is becoming a history channel.
It is. They give you the history of Mount Washington and its importance to the New Hampshire area within
Yeah.
the White Mountains.
Well, because it's such an old road. I mean, like, horse and carriages were going up it in the beginning.
Yeah.
And it's just stunning. I mean, the views at the top of the mountain
so
were gorgeous.
amazing.
The drive up the mountain was gorgeous. The drive down, I mean, there was no part of it that was terrible.
We went on a rather cloudy day, which wasn't bad. So it kept the temperatures down.
It was cloudy at the bottom.
It was also cloudy at the top.
Well, we got above the clouds.
Oh, we got
at the
above
top.
the clouds. That's true. We did.
Yeah.
We got.
That was what was amazing, is
We
you
got
drove.
at the clouds, and then we got above the clouds.
Yeah, I mean, we drove through clouds. On the way down, the kids rolled down their windows so they could take a cloud down to the. It was cute.
It was
It's a
cute.
nice try. Just okay.
We can't say enough about
Can't
it.
say. I just watch.
We are on the Mount Washington Auto Road.
We are the ones who mark a new beginning. We are the ones of the spoken word. We are the ones who keep the planet spinning.
Okay, so we're doing this because regardless of which direction you look, it's just unbelievable. I'm gonna try not to fall. So there's Kristen behind me. That's the mountain we're going up. Then the boys are back there, and just that way, this way. That way is my favorite. I think. I mean, it's all my favorite. It's all my favorite.
We're gonna heal this broken heart. We're gonna rule this world. We're gonna make a brand new start. We're gonna rule this world. We're gonna rule this world.
Come on, bro. Up on the rock. Okay, I'll be right.
We are the grass and the flowers, the sun and the wind, unto entwined lovers. We are the ones who keep the planet spinning. Yeah, yes,
Terrified to get back down, but I know I can get back down because that's the only way down.
The only way down. There's no airplanes out here.
The best part about being a passenger is you're always on the edge,
No.
literally on the edge.
Mostly we should be on the inside of most of it this way.
On the lower parts, on the higher parts, we're going to be on the outside.
we're gonna rule this world. We're gonna rule this world. One day we're gonna rule this world. We're gonna heal its broken heart. We're gonna rule this world. We're gonna make a brand new start.
Okay, so the second thing we did at Mount Washington was go to the Mount Washington Hotel. The official name of it will be down below because I think Omni just bought it out.
It is, yeah.
And man, that thing is out of a movie.
Ooh,
That's impressive.
And they say it's haunted. And you can tell.
Yeah,
that it might possibly
yeah, you
be.
can kind of feel some of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was gorgeous. We didn't stay there or do anything. We just went for cocktails, and it was awesome. I mean, you just get to sit out on the back, and you get to look over the mountain range with the clouds coming in, and the kids just played in the big lawn in the back.
There was a big hill on the lawn, so they were just constantly rolling down, and then climbing up, and then rolling down. It kept them busy for a couple hours.
To be 10 again.
I know. And then they did s'mores at the little bonfires that were in the fire pits. So
yeah, it gorgeous. I mean, just
the whole thing,
stunning.
The whole thing was a very wonderful, pleasant surprise.
Well, and actually, I have to say one of my favorite parts was actually driving between Vermont and New Hampshire. That is listed as one of the top drives to do in the country
because it's a very scenic drive.
Yeah. And you're in an RV driving on these tiny roads. So that was a little.
We did have to disconnect the car from the RV. So
yeah, so in between this route you are going, I'm not sure what the mountain is, but there is a mountain that you end up climbing, and we're pretty heavy, so we decided to play it safe, not overheat. It's not so much going up that I was concerned. I was worried about braking going down and burning out any of the brakes. So we disconnected, and it was a breeze disconnected. It wasn't any issues.
Easy. Yeah.
But so Kristen just followed, and she had to learn how to drive in low gear.
I don't think I've ever done that before.
Yeah, I mean, it was a 6 to 7% grade, so it was, and there was no like twists and turns. It was just
straight down. Straight down.
Yeah, so that was fun. But yeah, so that was it. It was, I'd say, a busy 2 weeks.
It was a busy 2 weeks.
But we got a lot of work done.
Oh, there was one more thing that we did while we were in New Hampshire. And that was the Appalachian Trail.
Oh my gosh!
How can we forget that?
I don't know. It was such a cool. So we were right next to where the Appalachian Trail kind of goes north in New Hampshire, and so we took basically an afternoon and said we're going to hike a little bit of the Appalachian Trail.
Because that's what you need to do.
How often are you right next to it? So yeah, so we basically just took. I think we did a mile about on the trail. It was rough. Like I don't know what any of the trail is like, and if the trail is anything like this.
Well, and it had also just rained. Again, story of our life. So the trail was a little bit wet and muddy, but we had our hiking and
but there were boulders
on.
and all kinds of stuff you were climbing over.
That's true.
So like it's like if that's 2,000 miles of that, like that's impressive. Like that.
And there were people
props
doing
to you
it.
People.
What I think we loved about New Hampshire was how much nature we actually got to be a part of.
Yeah.
We were kind of, it wasn't so much the touristy things that you would typically do, like Ben & Jerry's in Burlington, which we loved doing, but that's very touristy.
And before we're coming from Lake George, which was, very outlet-like, and it was lovely. And we definitely, we like going between the two because we get to restock and be part of the people.
Right.
But then we also get to disappear and be absorbed.
Oh my gosh, it was amazing. It was a nice retreat.
Yeah.
To say the least.
Yeah. And we're on full hookups and we had service, so we were able to fully function.
So yeah, that was about it for the 2 states. We didn't do a whole lot, but we were busy.
And the next state is our destination.
It is our destination.
We're so excited. So we're so close that I just can't wait.
It's going to be so exciting.
Okay.
I'm so excited to get there.
Well,
all right.
We'll see you in the next video.
Bye, guys.
Bye.